Welcome back to WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We're positively into the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. This is going to be a fun segment because I don't get to get this guy on very often, but I got to do all of my house clean. First off, I'm wearing my Chicken Palooza shirt. You can buy Maryland Lottery tickets at all Royal Farms locations where my wife lost $1 million last week trying to get $1 billion through here. Scratch-offs. I'll be giving these away throughout the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. 31 crab cakes, 31 breweries, 31 days all over the state. We're just a couple of days into this, but I'm heading west this weekend. Hagerstown, Frederick, Cumberland, Rocky Gap, Deep Creek Lake, and some surprises on Tuesday as well, but all over the state. Make sure you're checking that out. I'll be giving those away. It's also brought to you by our friends at Goodwill. Window Nation, where they're putting my new windows in this week. Buy two, get two free. Go Window Nation. 866-90Nation. Make sure you're checking them out. And the Restaurant Association of Maryland also sponsoring us to promote Restaurant Week, which is September 16th to the 25th next month. This guy has not had a crab cake with me yet. Every time I stop over to pick up things like these items that we give away, and we give away a drink. Hold on here. This is my favorite because I'm not giving you this because this is my favorite. This is my drink, my Maryland Lottery serious mug that I use for my drink. You like this, Doug?
That's his chalice.
Right. Doug Lloyd gives me this stuff. Roz gives me these tickets. I invite them out. And you guys, your main office is right. You can smell the Royal Farms wafting over, right? And one day, I swear I'm just going to bring like a big old box of chicken. I'm going to stop by during Chicken Palooza and visit. Maybe before the month's over, because I'm going to run out of scratch-offs giving them away at this rate, Doug Lloyd. I am.
Okay, well, that's good. We've got a lot of new stuff that just launched. We've got a brand new, this may not be part of your pack here. We've got this new $1 million mega multiplier. It kind of plays into the whole Mega Millions role here. It's a new $20 ticket, 7 top prizes of $1 million out there. You might be seeing some of these double blackjack. This is one of our new dollar tickets here.
I saw those at Costas last week. I did.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And those are out there. And, I've been out, I'm so glad I didn't wear my Chicken Palooza shirt today, too, because it would have been, a little weird for us to show up. No, I don't. I get you. I've always admired you. Fantastic.
I got people there at Royal Farms. I do. Doug is here. So, Doug, you do a lot of stuff with the lottery this time of year going out. Obviously, we're going to have the Ravens promotion going on where we see people throwing footballs on the field, between TV timeouts and whatnot. But I would just say that there's nothing for the lottery like a $1.1 billion jackpot, right? Like when that happens, everything stops. My wife stops. And when we started seeing a 400 million, 600 million, 700 million, had John on. And I said to John, it felt like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, it's 600 million. It's going to be $1 billion like that if nobody hits it. It only takes a couple of turns. I think not just for you, but for all lotteries to get in on that and to have a winner in Illinois and all that. It does allow people to dream, and I think there is a little part of that when my wife takes her $10 and gets her tickets for $1 billion. That is your Super Bowl when that happens. And last week to have a winner, you want it to be in Lonaconing, you want it to be in Glen Burnie or Dundalk, but there is the notion that people really do win, and it is life altering, and it's kind of fun to dream a little bit, even if you only do it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. For us, I mean, it is, for both the players and the folks that work inside the lottery, it's the time and logic ceases to function once it gets to that sort of jackpot level. I actually had to go on TV that morning after the big draw, and the information was trickling in. I knew I had to go live at a certain point, and I was just trying to get as much confirmed information as I could. Now that the dust is settled, we now know it was eventually it crept up to $1.337 billion.
Wow.
Sometimes that number creeps a little higher based on the sales generated by that roll itself. And so that's what it worked out to be. That's a $780.5 million cash value. And
I took a picture. I was at Royal Farm. This is about an hour. It was 9:00 on the night of the draw, right? Like I literally went in. It was raining out. You could see. I got a little chicken. It was Chicken Palooza. So I got a $6 box. Got some Western fries, and I said, I'm going to take a picture of me in front of the 1.1 billion because John was talking about it last week. Like a lot of the little automatic things you have 3 digits. They're not set up for billions. They're not set up for Bs, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
the digital billboards you can do, but a lot of the old school vendors don't have, they're not set up for billions. They're set up for millions.
Well, and honestly, this $1 billion thing, it's only really happened a handful of times at this point. And the first time it did, yeah, our billboards were not equipped for it. Everything said millions. We had to kind of figure out a quick make do on all of
Put a
those.
B over top of it like a Ghostbusters.
Once it gets to that point, though, word of mouth spreads faster than the billboard itself, and it's very exciting for us. We saw the jackpot change on the Thursday at midday. And then it changed again at Friday at midday. And the early news that we had gotten too was that if this jackpot had rolled, it was currently at I think it was the second largest Mega Millions and the third largest US. It would have been the top US jackpot had it rolled one more time. It was going to be
The
a very,
amazing part
very
is there's only
exciting time.
one winner.
Yes.
Like my wife and I were dreaming the dream. We got a couple of tickets. I'm like, I'd be okay with 4 people. I'd be okay if I wake up and somebody in South Dakota, I had to share it with them. It'd be okay with me,
Now,
But the fact that there's one winner, mathematically, the lottery blows me away, right? Like I'm sort of blown away by the cosmos of the Carl Sagan of the billions and billions of possibilities that it takes in order to have one winner. But the guy got like 470 million, like after tax. It was a really serious number, right?
It's 300. Well, yeah. So after this is before taxes. The cash value is $780.5 million. The odds of that single ticket winning were 1 in 303 million. So that's a lot. Now, the one thing we don't know is the single ticket. It may be a group of folks that work somewhere that have purchased that ticket. Maybe it's a rolling pool that's been doing that for a while. A lot of folks kind of, they get nervous having one person have that much money that maybe is not Jeff Bezos, but it's
I would bring
exciting.
minor league hockey back to Baltimore. I'm very, very clear on what I would do. That was my commitment to the community, was to bring minor league hockey back to Baltimore. That's it. That's what I would do if I were wealthy.
That's great. There's so many great things that you could do with that amount of money. Now, so just to break it down here, after this drawing, we did actually have quite a few winners nationwide. 14.3 million winning tickets nationwide. There were $2 million winners in Arkansas, Florida, Iowa, and Pennsylvania. There were $21 million winners across the United States. Now, here in Maryland, we didn't get that high, but we did have 302,000 winning tickets. 7 of them were $10,000 third tier winners. And then one of our third tier winners, this is the 8th one, actually played the Megaplier, and their Megaplier turned out to be 2, so it wound up being a $20,000 win.
You know what? I should yell right now down the hallway to my wife and say, have you ever checked the tickets? Because we woke up and we were driving into the city, which we do a lot of because we live in the county and we drive into the city now. And we were driving to get peach cake, true story. Okay. And I said to my wife, do you know who won or whether there was a winner? And we didn't know. And I'm like, we were going to breakfast with Gene Ubriaco is what we were doing. We were going over to the Beaumont. And I said, well, I'm going to try to stay offline until we can actually check the tickets. The tickets were back at the house. We were in the car. And then I looked on Facebook and somebody put it on their timeline. It just showed up. One winner in Illinois gets $1.3 billion, and I'm like, all right, so we didn't win. I bet she hasn't checked it. 303,000 people in this state alone hold a ticket that might be worth $10 or something, right? Literally.
Yeah, somewhere between
I bet she hasn't checked
$2 and $20,000.
You know what she always says to me? I have the app. I check it on the app. So make sure you tell John Martin and Doug Lloyd and Roz and Carol that we have the app here. So my wife is in charge. I'm ineligible. I'm spokesman. I always say to her, I'm not going in the Royal Fine. They're going to be videoing me picking up the $3 billion winner. And then first I'll have to share it with you. Let's start with that. We're married. So half's gone to begin with, but I don't want to be having a list of tickets. So you buy the tickets. So she's in charge of all that. And she's got I bet she hasn't checked 303. There are a lot of people that have something in their pocket that because they didn't win the big banana, they don't even check, or they certainly don't second choice, right? Second chance, right?
Yes. So yeah, it's funny. You should mention that we actually do have a second chance that's running right now with our. Well, a lot of these tickets can be turned in for what we call reward points, and we have several drawings that you can actually use these points to sort of buy into, and that's all through our second chance promotions. One of the other things that's happening now is if folks had bought their tickets in Western Maryland, we are currently running a nice promotion with our Sheets partners. And if you,
I'm going out there this weekend. What are we doing?
fantastic. So if a ticket is purchased, it's got to be a single ticket, $10 in value, purchased at a Sheets. You can enter it online and you can win a free gas gift card. Each week, we're going to be giving away $250 gas gift cards to 3 lucky winners. And we just had our second results come across the line here. So we still have 2 more of these drawings where we're going to give away the $250 gift cards. And then our grand finale, we're going to give away 2 $1,000 gift card packages. And again, only from our Maryland Lottery Second Chance promotions, Mega Millions, and our Sheets partners.
All right, we're going to get the the Powerball back up at this point. Now that Mega Millions is down, we'll start talking about hundreds and 200s and 300 millions there. Doug Lloyd is here. He does all things Maryland Lottery. Sitting in for John this week. We're going to be doing crab cakes every single day. I certainly hope that that you come out at some point. I talked to John last week about sports wagering because obviously we're doing football. Preseason games are next week. I don't bet on preseason games. I don't bet on regular season games, but lots of folks are. This is a first chance, like really to start a season. Don't have to fly to Vegas and do the weekend boys to start, the season in 9/11. That there are facilities here, not just the casinos, but Bingo World's coming online. My wife and I went on day 2 of the Maryland Crab Cake Tour on Tuesday night. We did Anne Arundel County. We went down to Hellas, had a phenomenal. They have a crab egg roll there, Doug, and I've never really had a crab egg roll. I know that they're served in various places. This was one of the best things I've ever had. It was at Hellas. We went down to Fern. We had a beer. But we're going down Anne Arundel County. We took the 895. My wife's been through the Harbor Tunnel like 4 times in 20 years because we never lived anywhere where you would use the Harbor Tunnel. So she always thinks it's cool and old school in 1965 to go through there. And I'm like, we're going to go past Bingo World. And she's like, oh, yeah, Bingo World. And I'm like, Bingo World's going to have sports wagering. And I said, they just getting their licensing together and stuff. And then she's like, you want to go? And I'm like, I told John last week we're going to Bingo World because I haven't played bingo in a long time. I grew up near the Eastern Center Bingo. Bingo World coming on, right? So that's big news. And obviously in Glen Burnie and in the area, I haven't been to Bingo World ever. I've been offered to go. Apparently there's a resource that says you've been there before. You know a little bit about Bingo World.
Growing up, I grew up in the Severn is my hometown. Grew up in Glen Burnie. All my friends are from there, and once we could drive and we were old enough to go into the bingo hall. I think one night we actually saw searchlights from Bingo World. Bingo World used to get the searchlights, and they go and you'd see them on the clouds, and we kind of figured out where the searchlights were coming from, and then it led us to Bingo World. And we said, well, if the searchlights led us here, we got to go in.
They don't do searchlights anymore, do they? Remember how cool they were for grand openings and stuff?
So we went in, and then you got to get your ink blotter, and it's just like bingo in pretty much any fire hall that maybe you've been in before, but
which is big.
It's just huge, and Bingo World is giant, and it's going to get even bigger with this. The sports book is a very big thing. This is the first non-casino location to open up. So it's very exciting for the way that this sports betting environment is sort of setting up here in Maryland. Like you said, we're on the cusp of a football season that will be able to start and finish with sports betting in Maryland. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. And for folks that like this sort of thing, it's going to be an excellent thing to have here in the state of Maryland.
Well, I always say to John, people have been wagering on football. I mean, come on, I'm 31 years into doing radio, hence 31 crab cakes and 31 breweries. Numbers, point spreads, all that. Now on the up and up, legal here, available, fun, adding more fun to doing this. But my wife and I got the bingo conference. We hit 97, right? And we're going down toward Gambrels, which was our destination, head down that way, Severna Park, through your neck of the woods, through the Doug Lloyd homeland of Glen Burnie, North and South Glen Burnie. And we're going there. My wife's like, when's the last time you played bingo? And I'm like, I play bingo all the time. Miss Grace across the street got on the bingo bus. We saw the Bingo World bus or the van picking folks up in Dundalk at Icy Delights last year. And my wife's like, Bingo World? They got I said, we're going to go. And she said to me, she loves telling me the story of the time her and her girlfriend Elaine went to bingo up in New Hampshire on a Friday night, and she won the big jackpot at the end of the night, $500.
Wow.
So she won $500. And 30 years later, she's still talking about how much fun she had at bingo. So we're going to do Bingo World. Maybe I'll bring Doug with me to show me around Bingo World. Doug Lloyd is with the Maryland Lottery. You know your way around?
Well, sadly, my bingo world days are probably behind me, especially now that they're a sports book. I have a feeling if I went, I would be a spectator only.
Are you allowed to play bingo?
I would think probably not, just again because they're an operator. I can't partake in any of the casinos in the local environment.
I'm going to look at the rules and see if I'm allowed to play or just play for fun. At this point. But
well, it might be a little bit more stringent on us. We are inside the lottery. We want to make sure that even if the rule doesn't really make sense, that we would have any sort of influence. We hold ourselves to a higher standard, so we have to make sure that
I
the
want to be there
citizens
for
have
the
that
grand
same trust
opening.
in
Can I
us.
do that? Can you let me know when this thing starts so I can go and I'll send you pictures of me? I think they let me in.
Yeah, I'll talk to Seth. We'll figure out exactly what's happening with it.
We went to Hella's to get a crab cake on day 2, and I had been to Hella's, Greek Joint, Benfield Boulevard.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Read a lot about it, heard a lot about it. Everybody from that part of the world said you got to go to Hella's to get a crab. It was great, but more than that, we sat in a seat, and TVs were on. It was about 5:30, 6 o'clock. We were going down to Ramshead to see J.D. Souther play down at Ramshead. Also, great beer down there. Had a delicious stout down there. And I looked up and I saw racetracks, and I looked up and I saw Keno, and folks were playing, right there in the big horseshoe bar they have at Hella's. And my wife was asking me about Keno, and I said, when we get a little bit of time, we're going to sit here, we're going to play some Keno, probably do it over Costas because we eat crabs while we do it. It's a little something that, because we were sort of in and out, just getting a crab cake at this point, get a crab egg roll, delicious. So I seeing it out and being a part of it out and dining and watching other people win and have fun and watching the numbers come up on Keno. My wife likes to play. I tell John that all the time. She really likes the gaming part of it, and I encourage it. Of course, now that we're partners with the Maryland Lottery, I'll be encouraging everybody to get Show Me tickets during the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. 31 crab cakes, 31 days, all over the place, and pretty soon you'll be running around on the field with the Ravens, right? Kicking footballs around, throwing footballs around. That's always you down there. They do let you do that.
They do, yeah. So I'm usually, they don't let me on the field. The pandemic kind of changed things. We kind of had to stay in the tunnel. Who knows? I might be able to get a little closer to the action, which is always a little fun. You get to
Everybody
have fun
cheers for the contestants when they try to win.
They do, and this contest has actually gotten so much more exciting. Fluke of the pandemic, we had some winners from 2020 that couldn't actually take their prize, and we had winners from 2020 that were getting a prize. And what we did last year is we actually had a head-to-head competition. So this kind of turned this competition on its end. Folks really enjoy that competitive aspect of it. It gives you so much more to cheer for than just the person on the field tossing footballs, which is exciting in and of itself. And you can actually win your way into this contest. So, it's funny, Ness, we actually had this with the schedule starting so early, and our Ravens football ticket is going to be starting soon, but not soon enough. So we actually had to give away our first 2 Pass for Cash experiences through our social media platform. So we're excited for August 11th. That's going to be our very first one. Somebody that won through our Facebook channel is going to take the field. And then we've also got one, of course, on the I believe it's the 27th is the
that's
second
a special
game.
night. That's the Governor's Cup. That's when we get to beat up on whatever. This is the 3rd name they've come in here with in 5 years, right? First it was the R, then it was the FT, and now it's the Commanders. But you know how I feel about that organization.
Doesn't matter. We're going to scratch them off our list.
You know how I feel about that organization.
That's right.
There's one football team in the state that plays football. We're here, and we only get a chance every 4 years to prove it in the real world. So I know John Harbaugh, by the way, has won his last 20 preseason games.
Wow.
Right?
Well, we're very excited about this. This Pass for Cash preseason is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to have a lot of fun this season with folks. I know we have a trip with the team that is going to be coming back. Of course, we have our season tickets for 20 years that you'll be able to win. And I'm probably saying too much. We haven't launched this promotion yet. The tickets are coming out very soon, so you're going to want to watch retailers for this. It's going to be an exciting season for us.
Well, no one listens to us anyway, so whatever secrets you have, it's fine. Doug Lloyd is here.
How about some more? Can I tell you more secrets?
Hey, dude, I just feel dirty for inviting you into Bingo World with a blotter. Now I'm good. If we do it at a fire hall somewhere around, was that okay?
That's okay. Yes.
I just want to play bingo all of a sudden. My wife and I drove by. She's telling me about winning. My partners are involved in it. This is the truth about Bingo World. And I told John this last week. I'm making a Bingo World segment, but they are open. Let's give them some love. I don't know how to get there. I always say to John, like, when I see Bingo World, I'm on 895 heading south without a stop, and I wave and it goes by. And then we come back last night, same way. And I looked and it's on the left side, so I don't know how to get there. So at some point I'm gonna have to Google Map Bingo World to figure out how to get there.
I'm going to send you some directions. If nothing else, I'll get a spotlight hired for the night.
Is it considered Brooklyn Park or Glen Burnie? Who claims it? It's sort of like the Tower in Dundalk. Is it Dundalk or Essex? Well,
I think it depends on who's puffing their chest out. I think it's somewhere on that line where it could be either or.
Definitely not Ferndale, though, right?
No,
right.
Not Ferndale.
I know.
We do have a really cool promotion I want to make sure before we got done here. Cash heat wave. We did just get through a decent size heat wave. The temperature is still high. But this is something I want people to visit mdlottery.com for. This is a promotion that runs with our pick 3, pick 4, and pick 5 tickets. There's some details again at the website, but basically what you're doing is you're registering your tickets online for an entry. Each dollar amount is an entry, and it will give you a chance to win up to $10,000. And the way we pick our prize is based on how high the mercury rises during the current week. So this is a lot of fun. We're going to have some fun with these dog days of summer, and players are going to have a lot of chances to win.
So when I look down and see it's going to be 93 all week, this could be a benefit.
Yeah, if it's somewhere between the 90s and the 100s, if we average out somewhere around there with the airport, we use the BWI weather station. If we check that on Monday and the average for the week is within a certain range, we're gonna pick that top prize of $10,000, and then we're gonna pick our winners.
Hold on here, 92, 94, 91, 80, 89, screwing us on Saturday. Maybe we'll get it up to 91.
You never thought you'd be really pushing this heat wave, right? You really wanted to
go down there with a reflective device to screw with the.
Let's make it uncomfortable around here.
Right, exactly. We'll wrap it in some foil or something like that. Doug, I appreciate you, man. We'll send everybody out to mdlottery.com. I know you're doing events. Obviously, the Ravens doing things here this month. People getting out and about. It doesn't feel like the plague's behind us. I mean, gosh, I've had friends and partners sick as a dog last week with COVID. Please be safe if you're out there. I'm doing 31 crab cakes and fist bumping people and trying to keep my 6 feet. But it does feel like, at least from an outdoor perspective in summer, it's been a semi-normal summer, and a lot of the events that you're familiar with. I saw you guys down at the Crab Feast with BMAG a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to be at the Best of Baltimore party in a couple of weeks. That a lot of your partners, things have gotten back out to at least elbow bumping and seeing people's smiles a little bit.
Yeah, it does feel normal. It feels normal until it doesn't. You do have to be careful, of course, and taking precautions. And when you feel sick, stay home. But there's so much happening now. It's nice to get back out to life and have the office bustling a little bit more. But all these fun things that we missed from summer, they're back. And I see your crab cake tour, just absolutely chock full of dates. So folks have to get out there and have a little bit of fun with that. One of the things we're really enjoying here at the lottery is getting back to interviewing winners. And we have a really cool story on there.
They can come in now, right?
They can come in.
Thing anymore,
they can take photos. Some of them do it masked. We actually had a really cool story last week. One of my favorite stories that I've read in the last couple of weeks here. Somebody who forgot the lyrics to a Prince song, and those lyrics led to a pick 5 ticket. They actually used the whatever their version of.
Were they working part-time at the 5 and Dime? What? How did this happen?
This was the Prince song 7779311, and he. I guess
as opposed to 8675309.
Exactly. Had the digits wrong, put them down on the pick 5 ticket, and that led to a $50,000 prize. So really really cool stuff happening here.
I hope they bought something purple with that.
I hope so too, right? A little crushed velvet maybe. But you can read about that. That's our winner. Flem Flam is what they call themselves. And, that's just a taste of the winner stories waiting for you at mdlottery.com. So make sure you check it out on a daily basis. You get a little daily dose of good news, courtesy
win
of the lottery.
50 grand, you can afford a raspberry beret. Believe me, you can. You probably can't get a little red Corvette, but close. Maybe beating up a little red Corvette. Maybe one of the little Mattel ones. Doug Lloyd is here. We're talking cars, bars, blotters, bingo, crabs. We got it all in this program. And it's great to always sit in with you. I know John's been out and about, and we'll get him back in here before it's all over with. I'll be giving these tickets away. full schedule for the Maryland Crab Cake Tour now up at Baltimore Positive. Not doing shows every day, but doing shows a lot of days. We're going to be at LP Steamers next Thursday. If you're hearing this earlier this week, we're going to be at a Full Moon Saloon with my friend Dante Liberatore in Eldersburg with the 1623, brewing folks a little later on in the month as well, and setting up more and more dates. Rock Salt Grill out in Westminster, going to be doing a Friday afternoon out there later in the month. So from Cumberland to Cambridge, from Oakland to Ocean City, back and forth, including Rocky Gap on Saturday night. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. Making it happen out on the road. Come find me. Come say, show me the $10,000 scratch off, and I'll give you one if you're out at one of our events. We'll see you soon. We're BaltimorePositive.com.